Hello, my friend. Hope all is well today. In this video, I want to talk about how I read hundreds of books in order to overcome anxiety and what actually I did to overcome anxiety, the lessons I learned from those books that you can implement in your life to recover from anxiety naturally. My name's Andy. I've been anxiety free for 7 years and had it for 3 to 4 years until I figured out what I'm going to share with this video. Essentially, my story is to keep it brief. Like, I went to the doctor. Back in the day, I was living in Scotland, and I went to the doctor who said to me, Andy, you have anxiety, here's some pills, you're going to have this for the rest of your life, and you can maybe manage it, and that's it. And in that moment, I made a decision. Okay, I'm not going to follow this advice, and I'm just going to find my own way. Professionals are not going to help me. I'm going to find my own solution. Now, I will say that I recommend going to the doctor to get your blood work done to rule out any other causes, so that you can then rest assured that it's just anxiety and go about focusing on the anxiety recovery principles, which I will reveal in this video. Okay, so the most important thing is to understand that you can get better. People often ask me, is anxiety recovery real? Can you actually recover from anxiety? And the answer is 100% yes, you can recover and get better. And it's actually simpler than you may think. Sure, it's not necessarily easy, because the way I view it is anxiety is a wake-up call. It's like a personal growth challenge that for some reason we have been living our life out of alignment. We're not happy with our circumstances, and that's where we feel anxiety. Maybe we're avoiding growth opportunities, maybe we're not practicing personal growth, and maybe we're not living up to our potential. That's usually why people feel anxious and depressed, because they're not living the life they were meant to live. I believe each of us have a unique purpose, that we came here to fulfill on this earth, or to contribute in a meaningful way, rather than, like, I don't know, do something we hate. Like, I think it's important to, like, really look into yourself and ask yourself why this has come upon you. And usually you'll find that it relates to some extent to, like, life circumstances that you're experiencing, maybe a job you hate, or a relationship breakup, or something like this that is causing the anxiety in your life and causing you to feel like um, you're not feeling well. So that's, like, the most important thing to look into this, to start reading books. I read hundreds of books, and perhaps it took me, like, a long time to figure out how to recover. And one of the greatest books that had a huge impact on me was At Last Alive by Paul David, which is a former anxiety sufferer who talks about how he managed to recover. And he went through the same experience, like people telling him he can't get better, just recommending meds and things like that. And that book massively helped me. Sure, I read it once and I was like, forgot about the principles, okay? Then I read it again, and I read it multiple times to kind of, like, remind myself to implement the right things. Okay, Tony Robbins says, I believe, repetition is the mother of skill. So just reading something once, like, if you look at the science, now I haven't looked this up, I'm just talking from the heart to you, my friend, so you can look it up, but basically retention is very low on pure reading. And so you actually want to take action, as in implement some of the things you're learning, right? Otherwise it's futile. Like, what's the point of actually just reading something and then doing nothing with it, right? So you actually just want to think about, how can I apply this to my life, and then reread it, maybe take some notes, maybe journal. Really think about, like, what can I take away from this and how can I implement this. For example, the principles, the most important ones I read in this book, for example, were acceptance. Most people with anxiety, they're fighting the anxiety, and what you resist persists and may even grow in size, Carl Jung said. So literally battling your condition, fighting your condition, is what keeps it alive and makes it worse, right? So most anxiety sufferers, they're facing a silent battle within. The anxiety comes up and they're all, like, crazy about it, like fighting it. And I was the same until I discovered this book. And if I remember correctly, it's like 7 years ago or something that I read this book. So I haven't read it since I've obviously recovered, right? So I don't feel the need to, but maybe I should reread it to help you guys better even more. But what I remember, right, the lessons I implemented was, like, can you give up fighting your anxiety? Can you just, like, let it go? Can you stop fighting it? Because that's what your system wants. It wants you to stop obsessing about it. It wants you to stop fearing fear. It wants you to welcome the fear. It wants you to allow the fear to be there. You will not overcome anxiety by battling it. It's not a battle against your mental health. You're not here to fight yourself, This is not a war. Like, emotional healing is like acceptance. You come to peace with it, you make friends with it. Kind of like a little child that is crying for your attention. View anxiety as your own past, like your inner child that's just very upset right now and pissed off and irritated and freaked out by life or whatever happened. And just be like, okay, I understand you, I hear you, I allow you to be here. Sure, I don't like you, you're really annoying, you're like anxious symptoms, crazy symptoms, but I'm gonna accept you for the moment, because I've been fighting you, I haven't been getting better, So you just allow it to be that you keep yourself busy most of the time, because if you just sit with the anxiety all day, you're just gonna reinforce it, freak out, add fear to fear. So you keep yourself busy, you accept the anxiety, acceptance number one. But all these points together form a holistic healing method, you know. So you have acceptance, keep him busy. So even if you're just at home by yourself, like keep it busy, yourself busy somehow. Listen to an audiobook, study personal growth, listen to podcasts, read books. You know, even if it's hard to concentrate, keep yourself busy. Engage in positive habits. Begin to work out. Begin to read. Begin to look into diet, eating cleaner. Remove like high dopamine activities like TikTok, Instagram, Reels. Those fry your brain and make your level of happiness lower. So you can't feel as happy from like day-to-day activities. If you're constantly like dopamine, filling your system with dopamine, you will actually feel a lot worse, and you will just deplete your energy system, you know. Then you won't actually be able to enjoy just like sitting somewhere in nature and having a chill time, you know. You'll need to be on your phone because your brain is waiting for that high dopamine. The same with adult movies. If you're a guy, I recommend you implement NoFap, because this can change your life. Because I don't know, it depends on your age, obviously, but everyone like my age and younger, I'm like in my 30s now, early 30s, they grew up with internet pornography and like doing that nearly every day. And that like destroys your confidence, that destroys pretty much your mental health. So if you implement that as well, and you get into these personal growth habits, morning routine, meditation, visualization, journaling, gratitude, exercise, you know, going out there, leaving the comfort zone, facing your fears. The more you do the uncomfortable, the more you become comfortable. Then you will like level up like crazy. In a relatively quick time, you'll be surprised at how much your life can change once you implement these things, you know. So let me know in the comment, like, let's do a challenge. Let's get into, let's start tomorrow. Like, comment your progress. Like, if you want to do like everyday check-in, like in the comments, inspire other people. Let's level up together, you know. And if you want me to actually coach you, implement all this stuff even more, look at your specific situation, I offer one or more coaching. You can schedule a Zoom call, pre-discovery call somewhere below this video. We can see if it's a good fit to work together. And other than that, I'll see you in this other video. Peace and much love.